gig, or
I do love heels, but they're
you know.
they're a challenge, aren't
Do you consider that as the, you know, I mean, you talk about like first gigs and things like that, but you know, is there one that you think like of life changing? You know, the one that really changed your life, you know, that, or that may, you know, that.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it probably was Otis Redding because he had a full band.
Yeah.
And he did this soul thing where you go down on one knee with a microphone, Mr. Pitiful.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind the stage was only about that high, and you were that close. So, I would say probably a huge Otis Redding fan.
Yeah.
And I saw him in other venues which were much bigger. But then Argentina played there as well.
Right.
They had like a 12-piece band, but Otis Redding had a big band.
Squeezed onto the stage.
And she dances, you know. And she came on. They came up the fire exit. I don't think it was a stage. Backstage. I don't think there was a dressing room. No. They came up they had a tour coach, but they came up the fire exit.
I gave her a quick slap and sent her up the fire exit.
And she had a fur coat or fur stole. But she danced across that stage backwards in a tight skirt. Bear in mind the size of the stage. With a full, like 10 or 12-piece band. That was absolutely breathtaking, yeah. So, those are two. I would probably put Otis slightly ahead because it all came from him. And you know, Monterey, everybody talks about Jimi Hendrix in Monterey.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it was Otis Redding. And also, there's I think he did a lot for racial relations in America. I see gone backwards from then, but you know, black artists wouldn't play what is black. It was all segregated stuff. But he was absolutely fantastic, and I saw him a few other times, but nothing like the impact. Same with Jimi Hendrix, nothing like the impact of the Am Jam stuff, because. Who wrote the book?
Which one?
The Wendover boy who wrote the book. Whose email you gave me?
Jake.
Oh, Jake, yeah, Jake.
He wrote a book on 60s. And
the sort of Joe Meek one.
Yeah. But he got it a bit wrong.
Wow.
Because he got the flamingo upstairs and the Ram Jam downstairs, and it was the other way round.
I'll tell you that.
But
It's called prosaic license.
But
Maybe it worked better that way. Maybe you got it wrong.
I think he just spun a coin probably. I went to Ram Jam a lot, and again, you know, it's a big influence. Not probably as big as Mother's, but it was. Rough. It was a rough Brixton in that 60s.
I was just trying to think about that thing though, you know, like, because you remember your first gig and you remember sort of things because they became significant because artists were subsequently became famous and things like that. But there are those things that sort of, those moments that, you know, actually change your perspective. And sometimes you don't realise it at the time, you know, and I think I said to David that the ones for me were the Robbie Lane gigs at Friars, the sort of 3 or 4 that he did, that, you know, not at the time I loved them, you know what I mean, but later suddenly they came into perspective in terms of, you know, what it impact it had on me, you know. Funny one, you know, because I didn't really. Because the first gig that I ever went to was the Faces in '73 in Oxford. Ronnie Lane had left the band. Tetsu was playing, and that was the first gig. So '73, I was 14, and there was a guy at school who you probably won't remember.
I can't believe you got in, Pete. You must have looked about 7.
Well, it was. I mean, it was just you could go to concert, you know. I mean, I was in a big theatre, you know.
In a theatre.
No, I suppose so. But you did look really. I mean, when you were 19.
There was a guy at school called Simon McClure, and I don't know if you remember him. long hair, and not particularly a friend, but for some reason, his sister, and I was into the Faces and and somehow, he said, oh, do you want to go and see the Faces? And that was the first gig, which was pretty, it's pretty nice first
not bad
gig.
for a first gig, not bad.
And Rod Stewart nearly didn't play because he'd been playing football, been fucking about playing football, and he came on with a leg brace on, nearly didn't play, and then proceeds to play. And I can remember watching it, 14 years old, and they drank a case of whiskey on stage, and he pissed himself at the end of the gig. And that was sort of life changing. But I wasn't even really kind of aware of the sort of Ronnie Lane thing at the time. And then when Ronnie Lane played it, but afterwards, those Ronnie Lane gigs were just so good.